Nitin Jain with us to talk about the how to increase testing revenue with right steps and right practices. Nitin, do we have you with us?
Yes, Deepthi, thank you so much.
Yeah, we want to know more about him. Please look at his LinkedIn profile. And over to you, Nitin.
Yeah, thanks. I'll share my screen. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, Arta, and thanks, GTR, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, all the audience. My name is Nitin, and I'll be talking today about how we can increase the testing with the right step. So basically, it's talk about the business and the customers and the key users. Before we start, I keep on telling to my customer, and when the customer talked to me, and then they said, no, we don't require testing, and we have our product which is already tested, and then we have a key users who is already testing. So we keep on telling, okay, the testing can be painful, yeah, because the testing requires a lot of effort, a lot of brains, a lot of brainstorming, and the suffering is optional. So basically, if you don't test, you may suffer. So where this is how I always start my presentation to customer, and then it clicks their minds to tell them, okay, if we don't do it now, we may suffer, right? So that's so basically every customer thinks that their product, their domain, the area which they are working is not changing, right? But they always forgot that the area around their product is changing, the environment around them is changing, and everything is changing. So definitely they have to test. Okay, so currently I'll just wanted to highlight the problem of the business users or the key users or the customer, what they think and what's going on in their organization, right? So what is going on in their organization is basically there are a lot of initiatives going on, like they are implementing AWS, they are implementing DevOps, they are moving to cloud, they are moving to ERP, right? And there are a lot of testing activities are going on, right? But there are a lot of initiatives are going, initiative A, initiative B, initiative C. Everybody is driving in their own way. They are not bothering what is available inside the organization. They are now approaching to different vendors. They might be reaching to vendor X, then vendor Y. They are again, and then there is another initiative going on different business areas. So basically, there are a lot of initiatives which are going in, right? So it may be very painful, and it also be very time consuming for the customer itself. If you look at from that point of view, right, every time there is a need of a testing, their customer is going in a partial way of negotiation with the vendors. So again, they are asking for the testing services, then their vendor is publishing their catalogs, they are negotiating on the pricing, and this is happening across the business area in a one company or one customer, right? So that is very painful, and which is very, very tough for the customer even to drive it, right? So as a customer, what customers want, okay, what customer want is, I would like to know about the evolution, what is going in the testing world. Okay, what is the simple method I can consume the service, right? Everybody knows that, okay, testing lives somewhere and it lives somewhere in the organization, right? But nobody knows that, okay, where I can utilize, how can I consume this? What is the easiest method for the customer to consume this service? So in the next slide, I'll talk about how we can build up this kind of capability within the customer premises so they can act. So what customer want is, they want the ability to find, request and receive testing and the testing services easily and in the timely fashion so that they can perform their job. So basically what they want is, they want the tools, what tools are available. For example, if they want a non-functional testing, they might, different vendor will give them different options, Doordner, API, then JMeter, a lot of options will come for their own. And then again, there are a lot of testing services like manual or maybe API or cloud-based testing. So many testing can come, right? So basically, what customer want is, they want they can easily find it. They can just request, and then they'll and the outcome-based testing then come to them, and then they can use those services. So that is what the customer wants. Okay, so there are simple 5-way process which we have worked with different customer and which is successful, and the customer is very happy. Okay, what we have done is, this is a 5-step process. First is, as a vendor or as a supplier, what should I do? I should publish my, if I am a preferred vendor for a customer, what I should do is, I should publish my offering, what I provide, what services I provide to customer, I should publish it, and the tools which we provide, right? So once my tools and services are published to the customer is aware, okay, these are the capabilities or competency that one of the vendor have, right? Now, what should customer do? So basically it's a joint effort. So customers should understand that, and then they should also try to customer IT. So customer is divided into two parts. One is the customer IT and the customer business. So basically customer IT should actually collect the demands from the different business area, and then they should link with the supplier to make sure that both of them are sync, and then they can map the services. So customer same information is required from the customer side. So once all this information are given, so now we have a service given by a supplier. Now we have customer demand, which is given by a customer. Now there is a possibility that we can map those demand with the requirements. So what customer have. So supplier will provide, what the supplier will do is will provide all the list of services with the key activities, what they will going to do, what are the benefit that customer will get, what are the prerequisite, and what will be the delivery process. So all these things will the supplier will going to give it to the customer. Once this all these requirement, the three-step process, fourth process is the defining the service, right? So once the service requirement is done, demand is gathered, now we have to publish the catalog. So this is the right catalog which is customer want. So customer don't want everything, right? They want only the services which is being used in their area, which is being benefit for them, right? So they just want the services which are benefit for their business. So supplier will map, and then they will map the service with the demand. Then the supplier will going to group them all the services. For example, there could be services like different test automation tool like works of certifier or automation. They can bring all the tool together and create one catalog which is test automation. And when then there is another tool like test management tool or performance testing tool, then they can again bring those together and bring a test tools groups. So the customer will going to group them. And then once this fourth step is completed, we will deliver the delivery model. So basically the most important part is the delivery model. So delivery model, why this is required is because once you create that catalog, somebody has to consume it, right? And the customer also wanted to know how I can use this services, what is the money coming from, how I can invoice it, and how I can pay for the invoices. All that has to, and then how you are going to deliver the catalog, what is the timeline. So if the customer is asking for a testing analyst, right, in how many weeks you may provide the test analyst, or if you want a load runner licenses, right, how soon you can provide me the load runner licenses. So once you complete this 5-step process with the customer together, you will be creating this kind of catalog. So this catalog will basically give a two-dimension view of the services and with the sub-services that the company have. For example, like a test management. So this is a group of services. If you look at this from a vertical point of view, these are the group of services, and there is in the group of services we have certain services which are being divided into different areas. Like test management, you have quality assessment, consultancy, overall test management, UAT manager, right? They might need all these services, 4 of them, or they might need only one services. So this services can be easily visible. So this particular catalog can be published to a customer premises, and then they can view it and then order it from anywhere. They can either create a SharePoint portal or they can put it in ServiceNow. So the customer can order this from the catalog. So benefit for this is they know the light green, if you see the boxes, right? So when you say these are the light bring, so it will bring in 1 or 2 availability. So if customer is requesting for the services, they will get the resources in 1 or 2 weeks timeline. If they are looking for something like cloud testing or maybe DevOps pipeline to be built up, this required some assessment, and this required some analysis need to be done. So that services can be done in 3 to 4 week availability, right? So these are that catalog. If the customer have this kind of catalog available to them, they can really know that, okay, where I can find these services, how I can order these services, and how I can use these services. Once I use it, what are the benefit I get out of these services? So these are the things that catalog can be published to the customer. Now, once this customer, so first part is the preparation process. So we have prepared the catalog, we have got it reviewed from the customer, we got it. Now is the deployment process. How should we deploy this catalog to the service customer premises and the customer ecosystem? So once you create a service catalog, you can get it reviewed by the customer. Okay, once you customer sign off, okay, they say this is the services that we need. We can create a delivery model. So the delivery model is basically the service. How can you order and review them? So basically, the customer can order and review them. What they want, either they want a continuous testing service, or they want a single testing service, or they want a projects. So what is their need? So based on the customer need, we can create a delivery model. And once we create a delivery model, then we come to the pricing part of it. So every catalog, every service that we create contain a price tag, right? So basically, once you create a catalog, you wanted to have a price tag. For example, if you need automation, okay, so there is a requirement for 5 script automation. How much money? How much is the price? And then after you create the automation, there is a part of maintenance and also the execution. So that price tag has to attach with the catalog item, so the customer can understand, and then they can also visible it what they want. And once this every pricing is done, right, you can ramp up the portal. So basically this portal ramp up is nothing but deploy those services with the pricing on the customer service now, or maybe any ITCM tool, not about service now, but they can deploy it in any ITCM tool, or they can even deploy in the, to start with, they can deploy in the SharePoint or Teams or a normal page they can create. So, and then those, they then once the page is been ready, they can market internally. Okay, this is the testing service catalog which is available, and the people can come and use those services, which will actually drive a lot of ignore a lot of pain area from the customer side, and they can basically drive it very better way. So once this has been done, so now the vendor, the supplier can actually ramp up the team. So once the order is coming, the customer can easily ramp up the team and then provide those services to the different customers. So that's the pain area, and then that will be helpful. So basically, when it comes to the customer side, right? As we all know that there are two departments. One is the customer IT and one is the customer business. So basically, customer IT all has all the capacity to plan this and all have the capacity to drive this, right? So basically, customer IT will be very keen to know what services are there, and then they can publish those services to the business user. So once these services are available to business user, they will be very happy to see, okay, and then they will also use those services. So that can be done.
Sorry for interrupting, but if you can wind up in a minute or so, it will be great.
Yes, yes, sure. And then once these services are done, as I said, this can be divided into four pyramids. One is the deliverables, what deliver we will deliver, what services we will deliver, and then we can also define in a group of services how the individual service will look like, and then it will be ordered from the portal itself. So the quick takeaway actually from this session is basically, if we follow these kind of regular steps, right, then we can create a good visibility to the customer, and the customer can easily consume those services from a better ways, and the supplier will also get opportunity to fulfill the customer needs. So basically, what customer wants, so what customer need is there, so we can easily understand, and then we can fulfill their demand, and which will help the customer even to also drive their annual budget. So if customer wanted to plan their annual budget, right, what will be the testing cost over the year for the next year? Okay, if we have this kind of catalog available with us, we can definitely, customer can just figure some numbers, and then they can also buy some numbers for us, so that our revenue also increase, the supplier revenue will increase, as well as the customer will be happy to consume those services. Basically, this will be very win-win situation for the supplier and the customers. So that's it from my keynotes, and then thank you so much all the audience.